Hello, I will be discussing data table number 1 for video 1 for lab number 6. I basically doing the experiment, and the purpose of it was to determine the unknown concentration of the titration for the vinegar. The calculations for molarity in the acidic and the vinegar, the mass of the vinegar, of course, I've expressed those in my data table that I've filled in, and I don't want to flip my video. I'm using my notes. But the overall, I've calculated the mass of the vinegar for the 3 samples, the volume, using the density of 1.0005 grams, and then using the initial sodium hydroxide with the syringe, which for this experiment was 10 milliliters. Then we used the volume of the sodium hydroxide delivered, which was a certain amount of drops. While I was using that, I had to be very careful and very precise about the amount that was delivered. Then once I did all of that, then I calculated. Bleh, I think I had too much coffee. Can't talk today for some reason, but I calculated the molarity and the calculations for the molarity of the acidic and vinegar. We used that by first using the unknown molarity of the sodium hydroxide, which is aqueous, and the volume of the other amount acquired. At that point, you reach an equivalency point, and you calculate the moles of the sodium hydroxide used in the titration. I lost my place to see the amount that I've used. But from that total amount of moles, then we're going to get the amount of moles obtained for the HC2H3O2. I apologize, I need to learn how to pronounce that, but I'm trying to hurry up for this video. So that's the amount in the vinegar sample, which is a 1:1 mole ratio, and I was able to indicate that on my formula. I'm not sure if that was clear enough, but finally, the calculation of the molarity of the acidic and the vinegar from the moles of the HC2O3 and the volume of the vinegar sample used, that will yield the mass percent of the acidic and the vinegar. Of course, then you grab the amount of the vinegar sample from previously calculated to determine the sample. Then we get the density, and then finally the total amount percent of the acidic and vinegar. And in order for me to do that, to write this video, I used all my steps, so I could just hurry up and do this in less than 2 minutes. But overall, the calculations were the same.